You're watching The New Stack Makers, a podcast for people who develop, deploy, and manage at-scale software. For more information and articles about at-scale technologies, please visit thenewstack.io. Now enjoy the show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The New Stack Makers. I'm your host, Heather Joslyn, Editor-in-Chief of The New Stack, and we are on the road again at KubeCon and CloudNativeCon North America in beautiful Atlanta, Georgia. Platform engineering is what we're going to talk about today, and obviously platform engineering holds a lot of promise for the speed and standardization of software delivery. But what kind of support does the ops side of DevOps need to scale their platform? What are some of the challenges involved in enabling your developers to have self-service while providing the right guardrails? And our guest today to help us unpack all of this is Bob Walker, who is Field CTO for Octopus Deploy. Hi, Bob.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Bob, can you tell us just a little bit about what Octopus Deploy does?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we are a best-in-breed continuous delivery tool. We live and breathe and sleep continuous delivery all day, every day. That's what we're focused primarily in on. And so when platform engineering started out, it really kind of was a nice area for us to start branching out into, specifically on the deployment side. So we really just focus on that deployment side, standardization, making it super easy for any of those complex deployments.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Just a quick disclosure, this New Stack's owner, Insight Partners, is also an investor in Octopus Deploy.
Fair enough.
So let's get started. So we've done our part for this disclosure. So Bob, when you talk to a customer who's scaling up, maybe shifting their operations to run Kubernetes, or what are some of the biggest challenges they face?
Honestly, it's how do you scale that knowledge is kind of a big thing, specifically when you talk about Kubernetes, because that seems to be the next biggest thing that everyone's moving to, especially with the rise of AI, because so many workloads of AI run on Kubernetes today. And there's so many concepts that you have to learn from the get-go. So a really good analogy that I think of is that Kubernetes, in a lot of ways, is a mini cloud inside of a cloud, inside of another cloud. So yes, there's always these things. And so how do you scale that knowledge of best practices across an entire organization of 1,000, 5,000, 20,000 developers without messing everything up? Because I've been a part of a situation where you pulled on the wrong lever and you accidentally exposed the wrong thing. Now that was with cloud, not with Kubernetes, but it's so easy to mess those things up.
Yeah, and Kubernetes isn't known for being simple.
Exactly, yeah. There's a reason why I have 3 books of getting started with Kubernetes. There's like the hard way, the easy way, and the Bob way, apparently. So, yeah.
Yeah, and there's there's always a shortage of people who have that knowledge to begin with, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so you kind of have those platform engineers that go off and they go, okay, we're going to help establish these standards. Or you're going to have these Kubernetes experts. They're going to collaborate with the platform engineers. But again, this is a small handful of people, not the entire development organization.
Yeah.
When I was a developer for 15 years. I started off with IIS deployments. And I did that for pretty much 15 years.
Yeah.
And so I had this kind of common language that I spoke to when I spoke to the operations people. And we've kind of lost that with this moving to Kubernetes. So everyone's kind of having to relearn everything all at once. Now, developers, they don't have time to learn everything.
Yeah.
So they're more focused in on how can I just need to deliver these features. I need to deliver this functionality. The operations folks, they're really focused in on, okay, how can we leverage Kubernetes? How can we properly scale it? These best practices. So you've reset kind of the bar a little bit with this migration. And it's natural with the new technology.
Yeah. Platform engineering was kind of the new hotness a year or two ago.
Yes.
It's been a little overshadowed by the coming of AI and AI agents. In some ways. How would you describe the era we're in now with platform engineering?
So it's actually really interesting. What was eye-opening was yesterday was Platform Engineering Day. A lot of the talks, not every talk, but enough of the talks to make notice was a lot of people are on almost V2 or V3 of their platform. And so they took a lot of the lessons that we want to do this better, but then, we didn't quite do this right in this area, so now we've had to iterate. So I think we're now into this kind of maturity stage of platform engineering, and we're starting to look out of there are all these DIY tools and solutions that kind of come about. And so now we're starting to see companies, such as Octopus, putting together functionality focused on solving these problems for platform engineers that now, previously it's always been done by DIY scripts trying to build it on top of these other tools that really weren't meant for platform engineering.
Yeah. What do you see as some of the things that might be hampering adoption or might be tripping up organizations that are trying to fully adopt platform engineering?
Yeah, I think honestly it's expecting too much of your platform engineers and thinking that they can come up with the world's most perfect template or set of templates that's going to solve every possible edge case that's out there. I also think this is why we're on iteration 2 and 3 of platform engineering, because they try to create those templates for the first time, and it kind of just turned into a complete and total disaster. And I'm like, well, this isn't going to work. It's these templates that are almost impossible to maintain. Because when you try to make things for everybody, you make things for nobody at the end of the day. And so that's kind of what we're starting to see. So setting these realistic expectations, and then also the other big challenge that we typically see is that they don't treat it like a product. And what I mean by that is it's almost an ivory tower approach that we've seen happen, where people will come on down from high, like here is my paved path, here's my golden path, and you will be stupid if you don't use it. Where if you treat it like a product and you listen to feedback and you have a collaboration approach, then it's going to be much better overall.
Yeah, and no, also too, because if you just are like, behold my golden path that I've created for you and it's perfect, it doesn't matter if no one's adopting it, if they're not using it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's one thing that we definitely noticed with some of the platform engineers is that golden path that it was almost so complex to account for all of these different use cases that no one wanted to use it.
Yeah.
And the other thing is no one understood how to debug it except for the person or persons that wired it all together.
Yeah.
And so then the platform engineers then became a ticketing system.
Yeah.
I need you to debug my deployment. Why did my deployment fail? Why did my build fail? And then they just became another operations 3.0 or 2.0.
Yeah.
And so well, we need to solve that as well. Yeah.
Yeah. How does Octopus Deploy address these challenges?
Yeah, so a couple of things that we've done is really focus in on the day 300 problem of templating, not the day 0. The day 0 problem of templating is I have the template, I create an application or I create a CI/CD pipeline from the template. Everything's great, happy days. But what happens when you need to iterate on that template for the first time? I need to add another step. I need to change this, or one of my integrations has changed. A fairly recent example for me was I had an integration with GitHub with one of my templates, and they changed the REST API up on me. And I'm like, well, that's fun. And so what happens with that when I have that, and then I need to scale that out to 1,000 different developers.
Oh, yeah.
And all these application teams. So we're really focused in on what does that day 300 experience look like, which is, okay, I have to make this change. We know that change is inevitable, so let's make it a very controlled and robust way to do something like that. And then the other approach that we've also taken is adding policies in there. So it's great to have templates, but are people actually using the templates?
Yeah.
And are they using the appropriate version of the templates? And so we have policies in place that allow for people to warn, or platform engineers to warn the development teams, okay, you need to be on this version, you need to be using this template. We're going to give you 90 days. Okay, now we're going to give you 60 days. Now we're going to give you 30 days.
Yeah.
We told you what was going to happen. Now we're going to start blocking deployments.
Yeah.
And so that, standardization, but also the kind of the guardrails in place to make sure that everyone is doing that.
Yeah.
Then the last thing is also recognizing that platform engineers, they don't have all the questions. They don't have all the answers, not all the questions.
They have a lot of
They
questions.
got a lot of questions. But then how can we go in there and say, how can we have a collaborative environment with the development teams and open it up to contributions?
Yeah.
And so everything that we've built is backed by Git, and because of that, you can have pull requests, people can add everything that they want to add or offer suggestions, and just make that as collaborative an environment so everyone wants to contribute, because when you contribute, you feel ownership, and then people want to actually start using the thing.
Yeah. Is there anything new that Octopus Deploy is announcing at KubeCon?
So I've recently added Argo CD support into Octopus Deploy. So a couple years ago, we acquired CodeFresh, and we were able to leverage all the knowledge that they had with deploying to Argo CD. And they're also Argo CD maintainers, and now we're Argo CD maintainers.
Okay.
So we've added that into Octopus Deploy. And then the platform engineering is it's the platform hub feature that we've created, and that's the templating, that's the policies. So when we combine all three of those features together, we're kind of creating this sort of Uber experience for everybody. So you want to use Argo CD, great, we're going to show you how you can standardize on that using templates. And we're going to have the policies in place to enable you to do that. So those are kind of the big things that we've announced for KubeCon. We kind of recently released, but we're making those kind of big pushes with marketing over the next couple of months as well.
Okay. And are those in general availability, or are they?
So they are in public preview right now,
Okay.
but they plan to go in general availability probably, I would say, in the next month.
Okay.
For the first V1
Okay.
of general availability. Now, we have long multi-year investment with platform engineering, as well as continuing investment in Kubernetes, because obviously that's going to be the next thing that everyone's going to be using, so we want to make sure it's the best experience for all the developers as well.
One thing that obviously the one thing that we hear a lot is from platform engineering teams is that sometimes you mentioned that platforms are sometimes on their second version of it, their third version of it. What sort of advice might you give to a platform engineering team that, maybe their first iteration didn't work out so well, like to continue to get support from their, the people that cut the checks, basically, in their organization?
Measure it. That would be a big one.
Yeah.
That way you know that you're making a difference. So when you can show certain things, like DORA metrics, for example, I increase my deployment frequency, I reduce my change failure rate. Those types of things are very important. And then also, don't be so hard on yourself. I mean, the best teacher is failure or doing something wrong the first time, and then you go, okay, I can do this a little bit better next time. Yeah. And so that's a really good approach to take. And then also be willing to share your knowledge, because really platform engineers should be treated as force multipliers, not gateways to knowledge. They should be, how can I augment my developers? So they really don't need me, because ultimately that would be the kind of the dream. The developers don't need you at all because you've done your job so well. You're kind of just in the background pulling a few levers here and there.
What do you see as how do you see the platform engineering ecosystem evolving over the next few years?
Oh, I haven't really thought about that too much.
Okay.
I've been really focused in on the Octopus Deploy side, but I think what we're going to start seeing is more and more commercial vendors releasing tools to kind of fill the void of these DIY tools that come out, as well as making it a much more robust experience, I guess. So you're not asking your platform engineers to write all of these custom scripts and these bespoke things that only two people know how it's all hung together. Again, it comes back to that more of that commercial offering, and hopefully at a price point that everyone can agree to.
Yeah, that's definitely because we're definitely in a era where probably a lot of organizations are looking at trying to save money because they're investing so much in AI.
And with AI, it's also incorporating it into platform engineering, but doing it in such a way that it's not a science experiment. So what I mean by that is, so many people like, can I have AI generate my pipeline for me? I'm like, don't really like that thought, because you never know what you're going to get. Or one of the crazier ones that I heard recently was having AI make decisions in the pipeline of whether or not to proceed or not. It's like you want a non-deterministic decision. So finding appropriate use cases. So for example, within Octopus, with our AI integration, we looked at our own telemetry and go, well, we do anywhere from 17 times to 50 times more deployments than we do changes. Well, the deployments can either be a failure or it's going to be a success. And if it's a failure, let's use AI to provide self-service remediation. So here's why it failed. Here's a list of suggestions that you can do to resolve that. And then if that doesn't work, then reach out to your platform engineer to help you start debugging that. So again, it's freeing up the platform engineer's time, so they're not dealing with all that common, why did this fail? Well, you just have to rerun it, or you caused it to fail because of this issue or something like that. Providing that self-service remediation. So that would be another area where I kind of see platform engineering going, is leveraging AI to enable that type of help versus trying to solve all the world's problems with AI.
It's not AI. I do feel like there are a lot of people who still see AI as a bit of a cheat code, and it's clearly not. this
we've
point.
clearly seen. I think we've starting to see the appropriate use cases versus the inappropriate use cases of AI by now.
Yeah. Okay, so does that? I think we'll probably wrap up then.
Sounds good to me.
Okay,
Yeah,
all
awesome.
right, sounds good. So I just want to thank Bob Walker of Octopus Deploy for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. It was great.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed our conversation. I'd like to thank all of you for joining our conversation. And this has been Heather Joslyn for the New Stack Makers on the road at KubeCon and CloudNativeCon North America in Atlanta, Georgia. We'll see you next time.
If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, you can always subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're on all the major social media platforms. You can always find us at thenewstack.io. We hope to see you soon.